I'm building these beds using reclaimed wood that I got off Craigslist. They are reclaimed fence boards, cedar, I believe, and then I'm using a nail gun to secure them together. And then for the long edges, I had to connect two pieces with a piece of 2x4 because I believe this bed is a 4x10 and the fence boards were only about 5 feet long. So I was driving around running errands and I stopped in this neighborhood because I was looking for leaves. Picked up a couple bags of leaves that I plan on using in my backyard. So yay, free mulch! I just wanted to pop in and explain what I'm doing with the leaves really quick. So along my back fence and then the little portion that goes in front of my greenhouse is a really shaded area, and also the portion by my greenhouse is sloped downward, so that's one of the lowest points of my yard. So a couple weeks ago when it rained, it flooded and all the water drains towards my greenhouse, which obviously is not the best situation. But I have this idea to create like a hugelkultur bed. Basically, I am stacking up leaves and twigs and just leftover garden debris. And the hugelkultur part of it means that all of that stuff will kind of break down, but it'll be really good at soaking up and absorbing moisture and holding it. So hopefully it might solve some of my flooding problems. It'll also save water so that maybe in like the summertime, the plants will be able to feed off of that. And also it'll just save me money because I won't have to pile and pile on top of soil. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm testing it out and seeing what happens, and free is better than nothing. So I'm excited to see what happens. So these will break down over time, and I'll keep adding more, but in the long run it'll create really good soil. She's into it. Nezuko, what do you think? So I spent the day a better part of my Saturday driving way up north and getting free mulch. Sorry, it's a garage opener. I got it off Craigslist and I'm going to use it to mulch between my beds. I have maybe like 20 feet of walkways to cover and then I'll be done. I'm gonna save this small patch of greenery for the hammocks, but I would like to get this done before spring and before the grasses and weeds take over. And I also have a few small patches of areas that I've already mulched that have been kicked up a little bit and weeds are popping through, so I'll probably either put mulch directly over it or maybe like rake the mulch off of it, put down some more cardboard or something, and then put more mulch on top. So yeah, that's the goal for today. So this is how I've been mulching in between my beds. It's basically like a no-till version. I essentially just lay down layers of either paper or cardboard. In this case, I'm using paper bags that I got from the grocery store whenever I order my groceries. And then I will just put mulch on right on top. For this portion, I'm just raking up where the grass is popping through and then putting down the bags and recovering it with fresh mulch. Today I'm out in the greenhouse. I have a lot to do today in the garden, and then I have to do actual work later. But what I would like to do today is build a shelf in here, maybe two actually. Move some more of the seedlings out here, and then I also want to finish the mulch that I got yesterday, and I would also like to potentially spread the compost that I've had sitting back there for a year, spread that out over my garden beds if it seems ready. And then once I'm done spreading it on the garden beds, I want to potentially use it for the front yard, but I don't know how much that I have. I don't know how far that'll go, is what I'm trying to say. Working on cleaning up these two beds today. I need to probably lay down some cardboard here and over here, and put in a bunch more soil. So they'll be ready to plant. So previously this bed was a triangle bed, so it started over this way, came this way, and then went that way, which is why I need to put cardboard over here and over here, because there's a ton of grass and weeds that I just need to cover up. And the triangle beds line this whole wall, and it was pretty, but it just wasn't very functional, so I turned them all into rectangular raised beds, and hopefully it'll give me more grow space, so we'll see. I just gotta clean them all up and get them ready to plant. I'm also going to redo all the drip irrigation. Before, I was using hoses with drippers every like 12 inches, but I have found that I prefer these silver hoses because they don't limit me as to where I can plant things, and I feel like they cover more ground. So putting these in all the beds one by one. Looking pretty good. The only things that are left are, I have some comfrey right there, motherwort, and mugwort, I think. Yep. Gonna plant some cabbages, I think, over there. I just wanted to share this really quick. It just rained a lot. We were getting thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. Luckily, there hasn't been a tornado yet. We did get a lot of sudden rain that lasted about 20 minutes, and I was so stressed out because I just planted out a ton of seedlings yesterday. But I'm super excited because the last time it rained really hard, prior to all of the mulching that I did, the greenhouse flooded. After that, I did a ton of mulching because I needed to. I just mulched the pathways, and then I put a bed along my fence, and then it comes out in front of my greenhouse. And the part in front of the greenhouse, I purposefully filled it up with branches and leaves and grass, and then there's a really thick layer of mulch in front of that. So my whole backyard, when you look out of the greenhouse, the whole thing slants down towards the greenhouse. So I think the greenhouse is the lowest point of my backyard. That to say, I did a ton of that mulching, and then the bed specifically to stop the flow of water and to catch it and trap it in those areas so that it doesn't come down to the greenhouse, and it worked. And I'm so happy. I feel really accomplished right now. There are a few places in my backyard that are still collecting water. I think that's only natural, but I do intend to put down thicker layers of mulch and wood chips, and eventually hopefully those will just turn into swales, and they'll just absorb the water and trap the water and store it for later use. I may also put down like some leaves, maybe, see if that works. But anyways, I'm really excited. Everything in here is looking good. Like I cannot believe it's just completely dry, like just bone dry. I did it. Yay. Oh, I can't believe. Okay,